Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe, to like and to comment on my YouTube videos. By the way, I just want to thank you all for the support you are showing me, how my videos have been watched, the number of subscribers I have received last week and this week is just amazing, and I just thank God for that. And talking of that, I never knew that people who watch my videos will have those people who don't understand Swahili actually. I just thought that my videos are being watched by my friends, those who I personally, when I upload video, I do send them my link and tell them please kindly go and watch. I never knew my videos are watched worldwide, and from today my videos are entirely going to be in English unless otherwise, even if it means going to English classes for me to be perfect. I'm going to do that. And one thing that I know about talking these languages is that once you practice, it solves all. Like it solves everything when you keep on practicing talking with people. So I'm going to do that. For me, just to talk entirely in English, and I know with time we're going to improve. Like I prefer, we better have that accent barrier rather than language barrier. Well, language barriers ain't that good. I experienced that and I know, so I'll prefer I speak in English. Maybe when my accent, it is not going to be understood by people, that one can be understood. But if they don't understand because I'm talking Swahili, or that is entirely on my fault, it is entirely my fault. So that's why I said my videos are going to be in English. And we have those people who normally reach me out, and they are like, Queen of Ami, we have never seen you on IG. Are you there? Because we want you to do this, we want you to do this, we want to ask you this question. Actually, what I'll say, I'm not an Instagram person. I have never known why, but I don't have, I have an account there, but I can't even remember the last time I visited there, the last time I updated, the last time I logged in Instagram. So if you feel like, oh, you have something to tell me, maybe you want to give me a topic that I have to talk about, or you want to suggest something, you feel like, oh, Pinobami, you are not doing this, you are not doing this, you have to improve on this, or maybe you need to do this, and you feel like the comment section is not a good platform to do it, I'm going to give out our contact. And if you have something to tell me, if you want me to talk about something, you can WhatsApp me mostly, and I'm definitely going to reply, or I'm definitely going to talk about it. And if it is a topic that needs some expertise, a topic that needs some spiritual guidance, I think I can get some people. I have enough contact, more than enough. So any topic that you do have, just say it, no matter how fun it is, no matter how weird it is, just say it, because there is always going to be a solution. And those ones that will be beyond me, um, I can promise you with confidence that there are people who are going to tackle them. So, like today's topic, whether if you have never known, by the way, most of the topic that I do talk about, they are topic that people suggested to me. Like I do meet people over the weekdays, over the weekend, and then they tell me, Queen of Army, when are you recording your video? Then I tell them, okay, when I have some time, and they feel like, please go and talk about this, go and talk about this. And surprisingly, almost 100% of the topic, I do feel like I'm the main character there. I feel like I have gone through it, I have experienced it. So when they tell me like to talk about this topic, I don't get that challenges, or I don't know, I have to do a research, I have to do a what, because this is most of their topics, like I have gone through them. So it's like I'm talking out of experience. Yeah, I'm talking out of experience. And I normally do some research, but rarely, because I do feel like it is good I be creative in my own way. Whatever I talk, let it be from me, not other sources. So everything that I do talk about is what I really experience, and most of them actually they're true stories, and real life events. So I don't just fix things and do that. So that's how I don't get challenged. Like someone can just someone can just give me a topic today and tell me, okay, you have to talk about it. So maybe when I feel like I'm in the mood to record, like 2 hours later, I can comfortably talk about it without doing anything. Like this and this things that are coming from my own experience. So like today's topic from the title of the video is moving on as easy as A, B, C, D. Is moving on as easy as A, B, C, D. Like, actually, I was like, I couldn't come up with a better heading, because when I was told to talk about this, I felt like it was like a story. Can you talk about this? Can you talk about this? So I decided to summarize it, and that's why how it came is moving on as easy as A, B, C, D. Actually, it will depend on what are you moving on. What are you moving on from? What are you moving on with? What are you moving on to? So, like, when I was asked that, I came about 4 things. Are they really four? Yeah, 4 things. Okay, you are moving on with your professional career, you are moving on with your educational career, you are moving on with your life after you have lost someone who is close to you, you have lost part of your family members, you have lost your friends, or you are moving on from a heartbreak or a failed marriage, a failed relationship. So you feel like I'm moving on. So I'm going to talk about the 4 of them, because it was a general question. Like I was just told, talk about how if moving on is an easy thing. So I didn't want to be one-sided person, so that when I decide to talk about the relationship, but because I might fail to answer the question correctly. So when I was told like you have to talk about if moving on is easy, then I was not specified like you have to talk on specifically concerning relationship, concerning the death of people, concerning moving on with your career, concerning moving on with your professional career or educational career. So I decided actually I'm going to talk about the four of them. So the first thing, if moving on with your professional career is easy as A, B, C, D, this one I'll say it is easy as A, B, C, D somehow, because this is something that you woke up in the morning, thought about it, and felt like, okay, this is something that is good for me. So you need to move on with your career. Like maybe you need to change your professional, or you need to advance in your career. So that one I'll think like it is easy. It's not that much challenging. So if you decide to move on with your career, it is easy as A, B, C, D. Like me, I can just wake up and feel like, okay, I'm a teacher now, I need to advance, because maybe before I thought about it, maybe I have some resources, I have money resources, I have time. So this is something that I didn't just wake up from nowhere. This is something that I have been thinking about it, and something that I made decision when I'm in a sober mind. So this is something that I'm not going to regret doing that. So moving on in with your professional career to me is as easy as A, B, C, D. Likewise, moving on with your educational career, it is also as easy as A, B, C, D. Though that one can be somehow challenging, because you can move on with the educational career under the influence of your parents. They can tell you, okay, you have to do this, you have to advance in this, you have to do, or anybody else can influence your decision. But if it is the something that you made it your own, like this is the decision that you made it your own, like you want to move on with your education career, maybe you want to resign the job and you move on with your educational career, I think that is an easy thing. Though it requires your mind, you need have to prepare your mind so well that, okay, now I'm moving on from this sector, now I want to go and study. So once you set your mind on that, I don't think that has a challenge, unless if you are forced to move on with the educational career that you didn't like, or that you're not comfortable with. But if it is something that you really wanted to do, now you feel like, okay, my God, I just want to move on with my educational career. So to me, that one is easy as A, B, C, D. And the other thing about moving on is moving on with my life after I have lost someone, like moving on with my life after the death of someone that I do love, someone that I do like, someone from my family, someone from my friend circle. So is that moving on as easy as ABCD? No, 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 no. Moving on with your life after you have lost someone in the hands of death, someone that you love, someone that you like, is not as easy as ABCD. It is not that easy. And oh, that is the most difficult thing to do. That's why you'll see some people mourn forever, some people mourn for 3 years, others mourn for months. So it will depend with the person and how you accept the loss, by the way. The key thing there is, I know it is not easy because the reality, like someone you are used to waking up, you find that person there, you eat with the person, you joke with the person, you fight with the person, you are in, you are fond of that person, and then you just wake up one day and you find out that, oh my god, there is no any single day I'm going to meet with this person. There's no any single day I'm going to share a meal with this person. There's no single day I'm going to fight with this person. There's no single day I'm going to joke with this person. Like, it has happened. Never, never this person has gone forever. That is the most difficult thing to accept. So moving on, it is not actually easy. But what I can just tell, to me, what I do tell people is let people mourn as long as they want. Let people mourn in their own way. We should not judge them. In fact, we should be there for them, but we should not judge them. Like we are judging this person, oh, why is this person mourning so much? Like, why is he acting as if he's the only one who lost the person? So many people lost them. I don't think that is a good thing to do, but we should we should encourage them. We should walk with them in the journey of their mourning, so that we help them to move on fast, because it is not that easy actually. Because even that mourning period, so many things normally goes on your mind. Sometimes you feel like, oh my god, I'm going to wake up and find this person has come back again. You're going to have dreams about the person. So the only thing is to try to erase the memories, to try to forget the memories with the person, and to accept that the person has gone, and you let the person to rest in peace. But actually me, I'll say it is not easy. It is not just that easy. It can be easy to a distance person, a person who is far related to the person, or it can be easy for a person who is not that close to the person who died. But to the person who was close, we don't know the connection they had. We don't know the attachment they had. So it is not even good to judge them, but we just have to encourage them. That's what I can say. We just have to encourage them. But judging this person, please, we shouldn't do that. Actually, it is never, never easy. Like accepting like this one so has gone to be with the Lord, it is not easy. But at the end of the day, we should just try and move on with our life. Do anything, you can even try to go out, to relocate, to go for a vacation, like to try to erase some memories of the person who died. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is moving on from maybe a failed relationship, a failed marriage. Yeah, is it that easy? It is not. It is not actually that easy. It is not easy, especially if you had fallen in love with the person and then you just wake up, boom, like it is over. so you'll not be together again. You'll not, maybe the person decided to get married before you. If you, it is not easy, and you have invested your feelings with the person, you have invested your time with the person, your resource with the person. So you just find out maybe the person had moved on with his life long time ago before you notice it. So that period of you moving on, actually it is not easy. But if it is this person, maybe it was you were married, you got married, and maybe you had a misunderstanding, and you decided to separate, but no one has ever decided to move on. No one has ever decided to remarry. That one, there are some possibility you guys can come back together. But this one, you have just moved out of that marriage, and you are finding someone has, another lady has come in, another man has come in, and they have legalized their marriage. Then you feel like, oh God, so there's no place for me. Like, there's no place for me, my place has been occupied by someone. So the period of you moving on, that period is not that easy. Because to me, if we had some misunderstanding and the other person decide to move on before me, that person means that maybe he had his own way of how he acted, of how he managed to move on, or maybe he never, like, he was not in love with you the way you did, so he found it very easy for him to move on. But other people, it is not that easy. And even to me, it is not that easy to move on. Yeah, I remember I had a weird experience back, and it took me like 2 years, 2 to 3 years to move on, and it was not easy. I lived in denial. I lived in hatred. Like, I was like, if I just find this person who has done this to me, I can even do worst thing I can never imagine. And then I later, it actually can just say it was not easy, but the moment I accepted the reality, that is the moment that I started now moving on. So moving on, as much as it is not easy, but especially in a relationship, and especially if you have lost someone, someone who was dear to you in the hands of death, the first step of moving on is accepting the reality. Accept the reality. Accept that I have lost the person. Accept that I have lost my partner. Accept that I have lost my fiancé, and accept that the person is gone. Once you accept that, I think that is the first step of moving on. Accept the reality. Me, I later came and accepted everything, and I felt like, okay, he wasn't meant to be mine forever. So maybe he was just someone, I was imagining that he was meant for me, but he was not meant for me. So I accepted everything, and I decided to move on. So once you accept the reality, live with the reality. Live with the reality. Yes, you have accepted, okay, he was not meant to be mine, she was not meant to be mine. Kindly live with the reality. Do not start running away from reality. That's why you see people killing each other, because they have failed to live with the reality. They have failed to live with the reality that, okay, I was left. Okay, it never worked out. Like, okay, things were not meant to be. Like, you fail to live with the reality. But it is good to live with the reality, and try to erase some moment that can bring back the memories of you with the guy together, and try to be happy, make new friends, and everything will just be okay. But if you fail to live with the reality, it is gonna be more difficult, Sasa. It is going to be more difficult than you ever imagined. So if you want to move on with your life, the first thing, just accept everything has happened. Accept that, oh, it never worked out, and then live with the reality, and try to erase the memories of you with the other person together. Like, for me, erasing the memories, it wasn't that easy. The only thing that I can say that really helped me to move on, it was the distance. Actually, we were somehow in a long distance relationship. I was in another country, and the guy was in the other country. So when I after I have finished crying, after I have finished thinking of doing the worst thing to him, I I felt like he's far, and the memories started just fading with time because I met new friends, I met new people, I met new culture, and I started enjoying their life. And to an extent, I forgot everything. And the other thing I later came and found out is that I had to forgive myself. Yeah, I just forgave myself for falling in love with the wrong person. That is part of accepting the reality. Then you forgive yourself first for falling in love with the wrong person, and then you later forgive the other person. Like you say that, okay, I forgive you for everything. If you are the one who was hurt, forgive him. If you are the one who hurt the other person, also forgive yourself as you seek for forgiveness from the other person. And then with that time, you just move on. Like you just, then you should not make your exes your enemies. That is what I can say. You should not just make your exes your enemy, because this is someone whom you thought things could have worked out, but it was just the twist of event that things never worked out. So you should not make them their enemies. So I later forgave him, and I forgave myself, and then I accepted reality. I lived with reality. I remember when I came back to the country, we met, like we talked. There was nothing, like I never had that feeling of hatred or even doing something bad to him. In fact, I wished him well. He was now a family man, and I could say, okay, can you say hi to the kids? Can you do this? So it was so easy for me to interact with him, because it's like I left everything in the hands of God. I left everything in the past, and I decided to live in the reality that I lost the person, I lost him, and there's no any other day we are going to be together. It is a high time that I focus on my future, I focus on my life, and that's how things worked out. So moving on is not as easy as ABCD, but once you follow up those steps, I think you can move on. I know it is not easy, and that's why you see people, some other people, when they separate, they live single forever. Others, they move on. It depends with how you accept it, how you accept the reality, and how you live with the reality. So never ever stress yourself. Just never ever stress yourself. Okay, it didn't work out. You are not doing this. You are not doing this. You are living in regret. You are living in denial. You are living in hatred. You should not just do that, but you should focus on the future more, and you should tell God to give you more wisdom and to bring the right person to you. And yeah, me nowadays, I normally, like, I don't, I do have a short time of moving on, by the way. I think because I was given character development, so to an extent I'm used to it, and I do accept the reality so fast, and I do live with the reality. Those are the two key things that normally help me to move on: accepting the reality and living with the reality. Hizo two, those ones only. Otherwise, I think I have reached to the end of the video. And as I said, by the way, if you feel like this is not a right place for you to suggest the topic that you want me to talk about, you can reach us out on WhatsApp, and I'm going to leave my contact there so that you guys can WhatsApp me. And if you feel like, oh, Queen Ovami should change this, Queen Ovami should do this, so it's good to reach out on me, and I trust me, I'm going to answer each and every question, each and every suggestion. I'm going to read, and I'm going to act upon them, because I'm here to learn, and yeah, and let the learning process continues. And what I can tell people, what I can tell you guys is that I'll continue learning forever. Mimi, I'll continue learning forever. Otherwise, guys, have a nice day, and yeah, bye.